Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're a big fan of wrestling and unboxing wrestling figures, this is the place for you. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Now, today we're going to unbox the Undertaker. Now, this is the Undertaker, as you can see, where he has his face all broken up and he had to wear his special mask. I call it the Phantom of the Opera mask. I don't know what they actually call it, but they've already actually released this in the Elite figure. I came across this at my local Target. It was on sale, so I thought, you know what? I'm a sucker for a deal, so I'm going to pick it up. Now that I picked it up, I'm going to review it for you, and let's dig in. So, as you can see, right there, nice big open window for the Ultimate Edition. We're going to turn it to the side. Look at that cool, menacing Undertaker look. Now, the one thing I have noticed, packaging, so when it comes to Target wrestling figures that are exclusive to Target, they have this like weird yellow outline on it. I've seen it on a couple of the Legends, and now I'm seeing it on the Undertaker. I'm not sure if this is something that they're doing by design, or this is just kind of bad boxing editing. I don't know. Anyway, this is a picture of the Undertaker with his mask on. And now here you have the Undertaker in the back. As you can see, this is from Survivor Series 1995. I remember that like it was the WWE cameraman did a great job hiding his face until he actually pulled his hair up and everybody got to see him for the first time. And it was kind of weird looking because obviously the Undertaker has played that dead man thing, and this mold on his face looks almost lifelike. So it was very, very jarring as a young kid. I would imagine, you know, being an adult, I probably would have thought it looked hokey, but at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to the first half of his face? At that time, I did not know that you could wear like a fake covering like that to protect him, because what had happened was that he had broken part of, I believe, his eye socket and part of his nose or something. So he did that as a face covering so he can get back into wrestling. So there you go. Now that we see the toy version up at the upper left-hand corner and the life picture of the Undertaker on the bottom right-hand side, we only have one thing left to do, and that's to unbox. Now, one of the things I really like about Ultimate Editions is you get so much stuff. Now, as you can see, you just get the Undertaker doing a regular stare, but then you have two other head sculpts. You get a mask that's not a part of his face. You get the whole entrance gear. So this right here kind of just shows you the Undertaker in his regular black outfit. This is whenever he's still wearing like the old purple gloves from whenever he first started. Originally they were gray, now they're purple, signifying the evolution of the Undertaker. So with that being said, let's go ahead and pop off some of these head and look at some more of these accessories. One of the cool things about this detailed is you see the Undertaker's face. He kind of looks like he's just somewhat smiling, which is kind of uncharacteristic. So I'm not sure why they made this face mold, but they did. But the other thing is that look at his hair. They went so much detail that they actually showed where his hair was dyed and the roots are actually starting to grow out. Crazy amount of detail that Mattel didn't have to do, but I think that just looks really, really cool. Just goes to show that extra line. So as you can see, this face, this head sculpt, a little bit different than this head sculpt. So once again, not quite sure why they decided to make such a new head with just a small little bit of difference, but they did. So, all right, one more head sculpt and his whole outfit. Now the last little head sculpt that he has is your basic Undertaker, wherever he's got his hair in his face. This is your classic Undertaker. This is almost like a 2-in-1 type of wrestling figure. If you think about it, you can buy the set and you can have him with the mask on, or you can have him with this, because this is the outfit that he wore whenever he beat Sid for WrestleMania 13 for his second world title. Kind of dealer's choice whenever you want to display him. On the other hand, I'm going to put his mask back on. But speaking of his mask, one of the accessories that they actually give you is the mask all by itself. As you can see, that sits right there, and then you can just pop him right onto his face. And if you put it on wrong, you can actually have the hair coming out of the eye hole. Just kidding. So give me just a second. Let's look and see what else we got with this. Now you get to see the Undertaker in all of his glory as he would come down to the entrance ring. As you can see, his hands out, kind of doing the like pose to get the urn. He also has Mike holding hands, which is kind of ironic because at this time the Undertaker isn't really doing a whole lot of talking. It's all Paul Bearer, but it is what it is. Now, the hat kind of just barely sits on top of his head. I don't really like that. I wish it would mold it a little bit better to where it would fit like an actual hat. Where right now you can purposely see that it is barely on the top of his head. Kind of weird. Now, the one thing I like about this is that it brings me back to a memory of a young lad being 11 years old, going to his very first ever in WWE live event. That's right. I went to a house show up in Chicago, and who was at the top of the card but the Undertaker? Not just any Undertaker, but the Undertaker wearing this mask. So whenever I think about that, all I can think about is the freezing cold December 9th that I got to go see a wrestling show for the first time ever, and I've been hooked ever since. I'm telling you, if you ever get a good chance to go to a live event, just go. Even if you're just a borderline fan, it's going to be a memory that will never disappoint you. So, with that being said, here's been my look at the Undertaker unboxing. Please like and subscribe, tell your friends about it. But until next time, be nice to yourself, be nice to others. Hopefully, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.